Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my garage. Back in my brain, and I would like to use the A&A Procharger bracket, but I told you there's a number of questionable variables and what's going to happen with this. Am I going to have to change this? I'm going to have to do that. So what I'm going to do is, what I'm thinking to do is finish putting in the Procharger utilizing the A&A setup, which means I'm going to have to cut these bosses off, take the goddamn water pump off again, just to see how it is situated down into this engine bay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. I'll probably measure, where the inlet is, the center of the inlet, down maybe to the power steering rack. So take a measurement from there, from the power steering rack, up to where the inlet is. Then I'm going to take the A&A Procharger bracket off and put the Procharger back with the Procharger brackets. And then I can compare how high or low the head unit is going to sit. Now, if you recall from one of my earlier videos regarding the Procharger, the tensioner bracket, the tensioner arm was rearing upwards. Oh, I'm sorry, it was rearing this way, I believe. Yeah, this way. And it was striking this boss here. And I had said in that video, some people grind this boss down. I don't like to do things like that. That's not the right way. I'd like to figure out why this is actually happening. I don't have time for that. So, by installing the A&A Procharger bracket with the Procharger head unit, cutting this off will benefit me even if I go back to the Procharger bracket. So, I guess I'm going to have to take this off, take the water pump off, cut off all 4 of these bosses. I'll try my best to make it look as nice as possible. And then I can compare where they sit. And I'll also take a measurement like from the side of the fender here to like the center of the inlet on the head unit. So I'll have 2 measurements, up and down, and how far off to the side they sit. And I could compare them. If the A&A Procharger bracket keeps the Procharger head unit in the same area as the Procharger bracket, then I'll probably go with the A&A Procharger bracket assembly. And then while I have it in here, I'm taking measurements. I could also try to figure out how to reroute the tubing, what kind of different elbows am I going to have to get. I might have to get like a 45-degree elbow instead of a 90-degree elbow. So, all right, let me get started. I'm going to take this bracket off. Then I'm going to take the water pump off. I guess I'll make a video on how to take the water pump off. I kind of skipped that earlier. Basically, there's 6, 1, 2, 3, and then there's another 3 on this side. See them right there. 1, 2, and 3. They're 10 millimeter. So basically, you just undo those 6 bolts, and it pulls right out. But I'm not going to buy another water pump gasket, It's a brand new one on there. I hope it doesn't give me an issue. So that's it. So let me get started. I'm going to remove those 2 items, and I'll be back. I'm going to install, before I remove these 2 things and mess with the Supercharger brackets, I'm going to reinstall the upper fan shroud for now, so that it holds this in the correct position, so that I know exactly how much room I have to wiggle in, the tubing for the Supercharger. So I've got it over here. I cleaned it up. And these 2 holes are just going to go over 2 rubber feet that are on either end of the radiator. And then I got 4 screws here. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Only take a couple of minutes. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so I got the upper radiator support in. So this is where the radiator and the fan will be positioned. You know, where before where I just had the bungee cords, I didn't know if it was too far forward or too far back. So this is the amount of room I have to work with. I just removed the Procharger bracket, A&A Corvette's Procharger bracket. I just removed that. And now I'm getting ready to remove the water pump. Just a ratchet with a 10mm socket will do the trick. Alright, so I'll be back. Okay, I got the water pump out. I had forgotten to mention, I had put the two water hoses back on here, the larger and the smaller. Take them off first before you take out all the bolts. Just make your life a little easier. So now I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to cut those 4 bosses down. The A&A Supercharger kit installation instructions, which again are not made for the A&A Procharger bracket, but you can use it as a guideline. It says you have to grind this down flush, and then these 4 have to be about the same level as this. So cut, 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 cut. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, I'll probably just use a cut-off wheel to cut this off in one big piece, and then I'll probably use my angle die grinder and finish it off. And I'll probably use the cut-off wheel for these two, and then smooth them down with the angle grinder. Alright, let me get started, I'll be back. If you're doing a similar project, and if you're going to have to do some grinding on your water pump, cover up all the inlets. I even covered up on the back side as well. Keep all the aluminum shavings out. And I also have to then clearance this part right here. Got to open this up more. And the purpose for this is for the belt, to make more clearance for the belt. Let me just mark that. Alright, so there you see it. I gotta cut that out more as well. So let me get started. I'll be back. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I've got the water pump back in. It's just hand tightened in place for now. I did grind down those 4 bosses, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Came out pretty good. And I ground down this corner here. Wasn't exactly sure how much to remove, but they don't tell you. So I did what I could. I'm going to reinstall the A&A Procharger bracket up here, and I'm going to see how this whole thing's gonna pan out. So I will be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I've got the water pump in. I got the A&A Corvette Procharger bracket in, and I've got the head unit installed. The good news is I'm not going to have to put the Procharger bracket on to see how high or low this A&A Procharger bracket makes the head unit sit, because it's sitting probably higher than the Procharger bracket has this Procharger head sitting. Because I can put my hand under here. There's about an inch between the radiator and the bottom of the air cleaner intake there. So that's the good news. You know, in their instructions, they're telling you to use, again, the instructions are for A&A Corvette A&A Corvette Supercharger kit, which has a Vortec head. You know, but those instructions say use a 6-inch bolt here. The kit doesn't come with one. I found a 6-inch bolt, but the 6-inch bolt would run right into the head unit here, so that doesn't work. I just wish they gave specific instructions for this setup. I mean, if you're selling a ProCharger bracket and including hardware, I'm sure we would all appreciate instructions detailing what to do. But anyway, it looks like it lines up pretty good, you know, by eye. I did order the new ProCharger pulley. The one I have now is a 4.5, and I ordered a 4.1, which should produce about 12 pounds of boost. However, with the bigger heads and cam, perhaps we're looking at maybe 9 pounds of boost making its way into the motor. If I left the 9-pound pulley, we'd probably only be making about 6 pounds to the motor. So we'll see. I don't have a boost gauge because I like the car to look stock. And I don't want to put that pillar pot on there with the gauges and then everybody knows what I have. So I might have to get one after we get the motor running. I'll figure it out. I'll see. So looks like we're good as far as height. Let me put the car up in the air and show you the underneath and some of the obstacles that I'm going to have to contend with. All right, I'll be back. All right, so here I am underneath the car. Just want to show you guys some things. There is the outlet of the ProCharger head unit. These wires, they would actually go above this lip here, so they wouldn't be in the way. They're just in the way right now. So it does have a good, looks like a good clear shot down. Let me show you. Okay, so this was the ProCharger setup previously. And it just came around, you had a 90, and the 90 would go up about in this area, and it would meet up with the head unit pretty much right straight up above. So now, let me show you the angle. Okay. So this is about the angle it's coming down now. So that's like 135 degrees right there. So it used to come down straight like that, and now it's coming down like that. So that would require a 45 at least coming down and then straight down here, and then I would most likely need a longer 90-degree elbow, because if the pipe comes down here, it's going to have to run all the way this way. So it's going to come down, hopefully, and then run this way. So looks like I need a 45-degree silicone tube and a 90-degree, a long 90. And then I might have to get another one of these, shorter. Like one that comes down to about here where my thumb is. Because I don't think there's going to be enough room for this up there with the blow-off valve. So it looks like it'll work. Just cost a little more money. These things are not that much money. So I think we're going to be able to use this A&A ProCharger bracket. However, it all depends on, I'm going to call ProCharger again tomorrow, and I'll call them and I'll get all their opinion. I'm going to tell them, you know, the ProCharger head unit is sitting, I will say, it's, you know, we used to sit like this, straight up and down. Now it's sitting like this. So about 45 degrees to the left if you're facing the motor. So is that going to create an oiling problem for that head unit? It may not. Actually, I was just watching another video yesterday, and they were putting a Procharger on a build they call in-house power mouse, and they said the same exact thing, that it's got to be standing straight up. You know, the tag has to be basically pointing at the 12 o'clock position for oiling purposes. So it all depends on what Procharger tells me tomorrow. We'll see. All right, I think that's it for today. I'm going to clean up. All right, so that's it for today. I'll be back. Do me a favor, you could click the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. A lot of work goes into these videos. It really slows me down. And I hope you guys appreciate them. And if there's anything I do to help you out, I'll be glad to help you out. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.